Yeah, it's been a real complicated profession. Hard to trust when you don't ever know people's intentions. Keep it independent. When they try to stop you, say, nah, homie, this is the way. Hey, yeah, so legit. OG, call me Boba Fett. You a little Padawan kid, taking notes and sit. I hold my head up high, just repping for these comic nerds, cosplayers, gamer kids, movie nuts, what a world. Yeah, just used to think we don't exist, right? And now it's cool to like the things we always did, right? I would be mad, but if I think about it twice, I'm just happy that we're getting all this dope content. So I just keep it cool, honey bunny, deadly like a mace window. When I'm playing Desert Rick, the only time I play by rules. In a different lane, I've been doing my thing, but just like Rocket, y'all been confusing me for Rabbit. Stop it.
Rabbit is correct and clearly the smartest among you.
I roll in solo, I'm stealing the show, that's Donald Glover. I pull the crossbow like Chewie and y'all should roll for cover. The bounty hunter in the game with these raps. I just get the puck, check the fob, take them out, secure the bag. Yeah, midichlorians course through the veins. I don't know what that means, they sure keep it vague. Wanna stop me, it's obvious you're insane. If you thinking that you ever gon' hit me with stormtrooper aim. Yeah, they calling me Death Star, I'm about to blow up. I may be cute, but I'm also deadly, that's Baby Yoda. I'm in the booth, give me time to reshoot. And I'ma show you why they're scared of me like Vader at the end of Rogue One. Hey, there ain't a beat I think I couldn't rip through. It's like I powered this microphone up with kyber crystals. Firing missiles out the Falcon in this battle. And I'm about to take control of this universe, call me Jon Favreau. Yeah, loving the light, but I'm really been feeling the dark entice me. I might go psycho, Kylo Palpatine, don't fall in snow. I'm grabbing a mic and thinking they got the skill. Step up and try me, I don't gotta be a fucking Jedi to force a show. Yeah, I think I found the droids you're looking for. We'll be at Comic-Con with all my people getting geeks. I'm like the Kevin Smith of rap, getting paid to tour. Talk about the shit I love and do it independently. So love the anime, Marvel, your favorite shows in DC. Anything to make you feel an escape from the stress. Do your thing, don't be afraid to be yourself, believe me. They can never hurt you with the best scar armor fit. Yeah, I've been paying all these dues. Amateurs, you couldn't last a day up in my shoes. Still there's people who've been praying that I lose, but like Mando's helmet, I will not be removed, no. I'm going Cara Dune, locked and loaded. Training like I'm Luke, always stay devoted, yeah. Waiting for the Mandalorian season 2 to drop. Until then, I've spoken.
This is the way.
I have spoken.
This is the way.
Hey everyone, welcome back to Toy Photographer. Today we're doing a live stream and we're going over our top 5 aliens and creatures. We've been doing these top 5s of our Funko Pop collections and we've seen quite a few. I believe this challenge actually came from Tony over at Star Wars Sith. So without further ado, let's go see what's going on in our chat here. See a few people are here. We got Christopher from Seriously Star Wars. We got the Fandalorian is here. Another top 5. Can't wait. 5 minutes. We are here. We are starting. Yes, that Mandalorian music. I downloaded it. Yeah, by Echo. Really cool tune. Really cool tune. Glad you guys like that. So, as you can see, I am not shooting in my usual space because we are now committed to transforming the kids' playroom into my new YouTube studio. So we took this from a very mustardy yellow and start kind of doing it in what I'm calling my Star Wars blue. Is the room slowly getting converted and have this week part of my vacation to work on it finally. So very excited. And I have a friend who's building me some custom shelves that'll come shortly, which is kind of be really cool to show off the collection behind me and everything in future videos. So getting very excited for that. Let's see. All right. We've got Ricky from Pop the Bounty Collectors here as well. Hi, Patrick. Hey, what's going on, boss man? Like I said, Fandalorian's here. Nice. Thank you for coming. Hey, the new recording space. Yeah, we're here. We're in it. We're in it. So let me know if it sounds good. Hopefully that I'm getting good volume. I did have to turn the fans off, so it's getting a little warm down here, but it'll be interesting. So between the summer heat and the winter cold, we'll see if we need space heaters or whatnot down here. But so far, so good. All right, Ricky. Padawan Chronicles. Hey, Andrea. Thanks for coming. Hello. Hey, Kevin from the Fandalorian, from Christopher over at Seriously Star Wars. And Seriously Star Wars giving a shout out to Ricky over there at Pop the Bounty Collector. Padawan Pops, howdy, is here. Nice, Will. Thanks for joining us. Howdy, folks. Andrea, getting a little shout out from Christopher at Seriously Star Wars. Hello, Chris and Andrea from Ricky over at Pop the Bounty Collector. That's no moon. That's right. So actually Christopher and I were just talking about this prior to getting on today. So typically this is part of my trunk or treat. So my kids for years, when they're in elementary school, used to have a trunk or treat. And my Masonic Lodge had one, and I always did a Star Wars theme. So I kind of had that when I opened my trunk, it was kind of hanging off there. And then I had built a whole, I made a template out of cardboard at the back of my CRV and painted it black and then did like foam and painted that kind of silver to look like the window of the Millennium Falcon, and basically stapled some little LED, little firefly lights. So when I would light them up, it looked like, you know, you're flying through space. And I had my popcorn buckets full of candy and some of my Black Series helmets. So figured I'm bringing it down here. It's probably not going to be its permanent place, but we'll see. We'll see. We got a lot of playing around here to do. Pop the Bounty Collector. Hello, Will. Nice, Vandalorian. That blue looks great. Thank you. Thank you. I really appreciate that. What's up, everyone? Hey, Eric from Cyrus Speeds here. Nice to have you guys here. The blue is a great color. Yeah, and it's funny because I was going to do a darker blue, which I'm thinking of doing my other kind of split room here. The other part of my future man cave here will eventually be a little bit darker, so it'll kind of graduate from one shade to the other when you're entering the rooms. But we'll see. We'll see. It's all kind of up in the air and going. Nice contrast to the Death Star in his shirt. Reminds me of my old room color. Nice. Watch out, Patrick. That's not a moon. That's right, Ricky. That's all right. Got to watch it over my shoulder. Hey, Eric from Seriously Star Wars over there, Christopher. And Pop Ricky saying hello, Eric back. All right, folks. So without further ado, we're going to get into my top 5 Star Wars Funko Pops. This is the aliens and creatures. And I know you guys have been doing them. So I want to know in your comments how hard it was to find your top 5, because I do have a few honorable mentions in here. And then as I was unpacking my whole wall of Funko behind me to get this room painted, did I realize there's so many more that I missed, as well as seeing your videos. I think that's one of the great things about everyone doing these top 5 challenges is we get to see what particular pops are in your collection, why, and sometimes you're like, oh, I totally would have. I agree with you. I should have thought of that one. So let's get on to my top 5 here. And so at number 5, and also I usually bring my pops out in the box, but since they're all literally in one whole corner of the other room, I'm not going to do that. We're just going to concentrate on the presentation today. So without further ado, let's jump in this top 5. Here we go. At number 5, Aliens and Creature Funko Pops. Went with Watto. This one actually was really inspired because I saw a lot of you guys had him in your top 5 challenge, and I absolutely love this guy. 100% agreed. So much so that I wanted to capture an image. So the image that actually dropped this week, I had shot prior before leaving for vacation, and had this presentation built because I wanted to include Watto. I 100% agree. I want to have a prequel alien and creature in my top 5, and no better than Watto. And really what was fun about doing this image, as you will probably see in the BTS that drops for this one, is when I photographed this and got the backdrop. This backdrop is actually a still shot with young Anakin sitting on that kind of bar or desk area, counter area. And then I had a young Padme Amidala dressed down in civilian clothes just in front of that. I brought it in the Photoshop CS with the beta version and everything, did the AI, completely stripped them out perfectly, and I was able to add this pop, light it. So again, this top 5 was a tough one, but Watto had to make the cut. So let's go to the chat real quick, and we'll see what they're saying. Chris, Kevin, Ricky, Will, and Andrea, hello from Eric over at Sire Speed. It was very tough. So many fantastic creature and alien pops. That's one of the things Funko gets right is aliens. I 100%, Christopher. We've said this many a time on the Star Wars Popcast that these are some of our favorite things that Funko does, and it's great to be part of the Star Wars universe where that's a plethora. So we get a lot of great ones. All right, Pop the Bounty Collector, Ricky. I don't have enough aliens and creatures. Pops, I laugh out loud because you have so many Vader and so many fire ones too. At that, Ricky, don't be bummed what you don't have. You got some fire at your house. I'm telling you. Seriously, Star Wars Chris at the Pop the Bounty Collector. What the heck, Ricky? Are you serious? Exactly. He's got fire. Ricky's got fire at his house. I've seen his shows. Watto from Ricky Fire. Yeah, great pop. I mean, it's just a great way they did it. He was, I think, also one of the more first kind of pops where they used that acrylic to kind of hold him up so you could really get him flying. And that's one of the things when I photographed this guy, I need to accentuate, making sure that I can kind of get him in the air, take that little acrylic piece out. And it came out really good. And this pop is just an excellent pop. Just money. Yeah, thank you. Just the money. Just money. No Jedi mind tricks work on me. Too many Darth Vader pops, said Carissa. Correct, Ricky. You got way too many. This is a good one. I still need to get it. Yeah, Andrea, at the Padawan Chronicles. This is a really good one. Love this pop. I think this was like one of the celebrations exclusive and shared. So I definitely jumped on it when I had the opportunity for sure. Hey, Patrick, which creature alien would you love to see in its own Star Wars story? Oh, that's a very good question, Eric from Sire Speed. All right. The one I would think is this is going to be a deep cut from the original Star Wars and New Hope. I can't remember he's called. He's got the little snorkel kind of thing and the goggles, and he basically dimed out where they were with the Millennium Falcon. He was such an interesting little character in the very first one that that's a personal grail chase for me is to get that pop. But I just thought it was kind of cool that you've got these little spies right off in the very first movie, and we never really went off that story or anything later. I mean, we had bounty hunters and stuff, but I would like to see a little backstory for him leading into something else. Even it didn't have to be a whole show, but let's start it out with that guy and kind of learn a little bit more about him and lead us into some bigger show. That'd be cool. I'm up for that. I'm down for that. Oh yeah, like the spy. Yes, yes, yes. So that would be cool. That would be cool. I don't know. I kind of was hoping that Andor was going to be a lot like the show where they'd had it was based on George Washington's Spies, the book. And I thought it was going to be more like that. And it's different. It's different. It's a lot more drawn out drama, but it is really good. I enjoy it. I know some people don't like it. It's a little divisive amongst fans, but I really enjoy Andor. I think it's very well done. All right. So as I mentioned, we do have a few honorable mentions because it's hard to do just 5 of these creatures and aliens. So my first honorable mention is none other than my little man, the Ugnaught from the Cloud City 3-pack. I really like the Ugnaught. I had photographed Boba Fett in this nature with the background and screen of my virtual volume and lighting it up and doing that. And I happened to be passing the Ugnaught as I was coming down from my basement, walking upstairs to look for something to shoot. And I just really fell back in love with how cool this little creature was and the details of him. I liked his little vest and everything about it. This pop really, I felt was underrated. And even though it didn't make my top 5, I had to give it an honorable mention because it's just a cool pop. Again, part of the Cloud City 3-pack where you get Lobot, the Ugnaught, and the Bespin Guard. So I really like it. And if you haven't picked it up, it's definitely worth picking up this 3-pack. I mean, I think they're going to get higher and higher as they go, away from these older 3-packs. So if you can't find it, definitely grab this one. It's a cool one. All right. What is the chat saying here? Let's get back over here. I like how they have the 2 brothers. We didn't have the Star Wars films. Yeah. Yeah. 2 tubes. I agree. I'd like to see that. They had him in Andor. They had 2 tubes in Andor, so that would be cool. That would be cool. I'd like to see them. A little more about that faction, really, of Saul Guerrero, except for the snippets that we're getting in Andor. I really like to see a little more of that because to me, that is kind of like again, my family's from Northern Ireland, so kind of like being a Irish Republican, you're part of the IRA, you believe in fighting for your country and everything like that, and you're looked at as the rebel, the terrorist amongst that area. So I kind of had more empathy towards that storyline with Saw Gerrera because they are more extremists. But really like to see that explored more. Again, if you haven't seen Clone Wars, I know there's someone in our chat here who's watching and catching up on them. But there is a really great arc that you start to learn about Saw Gerrera in Clone Wars, and it continues in Rebels, and it continues in Andor a little bit more. So it's really cool. So Two Tubes and his crew. Yeah, I agree 100%. That would be really cool. The Fandalorian. Wish they did more multi packs like these instead of reboxing ones they already had. Yeah, 100%. 100%. Like these little random ones, like another one that I still want to get is the like it's got the Imperial Guard, you got the Death Star kind of controller guy. There's like three of those guys. I really want to get that one still. I really kicked myself because I saw it at Walmart. I had it in hand, put it back on the shelf, was picking up cat food, doing what I should have done, and I missed out. I went back and it was gone, and it just kind of slipped my mind. And it's probably gotten pricier and pricier. Yeah, so definitely, I love these 3 packs like that. Christopher, seriously, Star Wars. I was so tempted to put my Ugnaught in my top 5. Right? It's hard not to. He is just cool. He's really cool. And as I was moving it, I forgot I had recently bought Queel. I haven't photographed him yet, so I'm kind of still thinking like how I want to photograph him because again, being an Ugnaught and he's got the goggles, just a really cool character. They did a really great sculpt of that pop, so it was really tough trying to find top 5. I forgot that I have that 3 pack. Too many pop problems, right, Ricky? Right? And Christopher Fandor agree 100%. Yeah. Let's stop with the repack. Let's get creative again. Like let's get back out there. Let's make Funko Pops like, expansive as the Star Wars universe is. Man, I'm gonna head out. Family sitting down to eat. Watch the replay. See you later. Thank you, Eric, for stopping in. Greatly appreciate it, brother. And go be with your family, buddy. All right. So with that, we're gonna get to our next one. So at number 4 on my top 5 Star Wars Funko Pop aliens and creatures is bam, Hondo Anaka 302. So this one is to me on many levels why this is a choice in my top 5. Let's start with Hondo Anaka himself. Awesome character that we met in Clone Wars. Got to revisit him in Star Wars Rebels. And if you've gone to Star Wars Galaxy's Edge at either of the Disney parks, you'll get to run into him, if you're doing the smuggler's run. Now, I actually had a little cool experience while doing the Starship Cruiser on board the Halcyon. I actually was tasked with missions that I had to go to Smuggler's Run, tell them I had a special message for Hondo. So then prior to boarding the ship, my message as I entered the Falcon cockpit was different, which is really unique and cool. And it was based on the mission. But then later, the coaxium that we stole there, we actually met up with while I was doing one of my bridge training exercises on board the Star Cruiser on the Halcyon. So it was really cool to then see the Kyber crystal getting transported. And then part of my mission on the Halcyon was we had a blockade from the First Order. And so we had to shoot a bunch of TIE fighters. It was melee and awesome and a cool experience. And it just made me even more connected to Hondo because when I was done my excursion with the Halcyon, I ended up becoming a coaxium smuggler. It was really cool to be a part of it. So having that special mission with Hondo, having this exclusive, which was really cool because one of my Masonic brothers had gone down there on a vacation and was asking, hey, is there any? I said, yeah, if you can pick me up this guy. And I'm glad he did because when I went to Galaxy's Edge, you couldn't find a Hondo, you couldn't find a Rex. So the really exclusive Disney ones weren't even there at that time. So really glad I got this guy, picked him up, and very cool looking pop. And again, when I photographed this, I took some of my backdrop photos that I purposely took at Galaxy's Edge to use as backgrounds for my Funko photography. So it was really fun to be able to include this one in the mix here. So let's get back to our chat quickly. All right, Padawan Pops. I actually had this set and sold it. Very cool. Yeah, I like that set. Hondo. Yeah, well, Hondo and Knock. I love this character. Pop the bank. I need him. Fire. Yeah, he is really cool. I mean, that the image doesn't. As much as I try to give him it's Hondo. It's hard to give him. He's just awesome. Really, really awesome. And if you get to kind of interact or see him in Galaxy's Edge, it is so much fun. Just seeing him as an animatronic live, it's mind blowing, and it's probably one of the best, more modern animatronics you're going to see in Disney is the Honda one, and it's on the money. It really is sharp. All right, so we went through the chat. Let's get back in here. We're going to get to our next honorable mention. Boom, Babu Frick, one of the Andrelian droid builder expertise hackers, whatever you call them, slicers. Babu Frick, we got to meet him in the sequel trilogy. And he is probably one of my favorite characters actually out of the sequel trilogy. And this is not the 10-inch, this is the normal 4-inch size Funko Pop. Photographed him just against a backdrop of the droid area, behind the droid depot in Galaxy's Edge. What a better place to capture Babu Frick. He was just really cool. And I think realistically, this is probably closer in size to what we have as a Babu Frick. So maybe he's an inch smaller, in scale. But I love this little character. I thought he was really cool. Again, he's got the welding goggles, his little torch, really detailed. I love the coloring on him. They did a great job. So could not include Babu Frick. Love the dude. So, hashtag justice for Babu. He is awesome. So we're going to move on to number 3. And number 3 is the new Admiral Akbar 617, which is a Return of the Jedi 40th celebration. It's just awesome. This is a new pop that just recently came out from Funko. I know a lot of people are still trying to get this one. If you hadn't had an Admiral Akbar in your collection, this is definitely one to have. He's got that chair from that famous scene. It's a trap. I love this pop. And this was very exciting. This is one of the first images I used with the new beta of the Photoshop to do the generative AI background. And I basically took Admiral Akbar and a couple of his 3 other crewmates out, and it matched the whole other half of the backdrop of his ship, and with the lighting and it nailed it. So being able to photograph this one was exciting because I was able to use this new technology to get those backdrops I wanted. I didn't have to sacrifice or try to come up with something else. It really worked out exactly the way I wanted. Great looking pop. Really loved all the detailing of him in the chair. And again, didn't have the prior Akbar, so I picked this one up. And I think I even grabbed this one from Ozzy's. I didn't want to mess around and wait. And when I'd get it from, I wanted it. I needed to have it. Went right to Ozzy's, got this guy. I photographed him before most people even had it shipped here in the States. So I was pretty pumped to get this one. All right, we're going to return back to the chat, see what's going on here. Ricky from Pop the Bounty Collector. I totally forgot that pop after quitting my top 5. Babu is fire. Yes, he is. Babu Frick, man. That's what I said. It's so hard to come up. So I had to throw a couple honorable mentions, like I'm sure some of you had to. It is hard to come just 5 of these. I mean, there's so many good Funko Pop aliens and creatures. Ricky, my Akbar is arriving tomorrow. Yay! Good for you, buddy. This is a cool one to have. I really like this one a lot. Chris over at Seriously Star Wars. Great pop. I need the Akbar still. Yeah, you do. You need to grab this one. Snatch this up. Order from Ozzy's by all means necessary. This pop is really awesome. I really love it. It's a great, him in the chair. I mean, these new poses and being able to have him on the ground, on chairs, flying, because, you can have Ray hovering now using the Force with some clear acrylic. These Funko Pops are just becoming better and better in recreating those scenes that we all love so much. Just so many creatures to choose from, right? I agree, Chris. Really agree with that. There's so many good ones. It's a trap, Will says. It is. It's a trap. Your wallet, it's a trap because it's such a good pop. You're going to have to buy it. This is a damn good one. I really like this one. Again, we could have gotten other pops and stuff, but this is a great movie moment, I think, in a normal 4-inch size and box. So really glad to have this one. Didn't have the previous Akbar, so love this one. Love this one. All right, another honorable mention. Boom, Chris Sanson, 5'10". I know I saw a lot of you guys really enjoyed the Chris Sanson, the Flocked, which was I think a San Diego Comic Con exclusive, if I might be mistaken. Um, and I did get that one too, and I did photograph that one. I enjoy it, but as I've said, I really enjoy the vinyl material on the pops for my usage. Again, I'm always photographing them, and this is a great example why this one I really enjoy. You can see how the light just really carves out all those waves and fur and detail that Funko gave this character. And again, using one of my backdrops from Galaxy's Edge, could really make him feel that he's there in that environment. And just all the detail. And you got that heavy blaster that he's got with him, his collar and everything is very ornate, very good looking pop. Again, I enjoy the vinyl more than the flock, so this is why this version of Chris Hansen got an honorable mention, and made it into the top 5 as an honorable. Again, even how cool he is, there's still other Funko Pop aliens and creatures that made my top 5 that I like better. It's crazy, but it's true. So let's get on to that next one. So my number 2 Star Wars Funko Pop alien creature, top 5, is bam, Jabba the Hutt and Salacious B. Crumbs, 611. Another Return to Jedi 40th anniversary special edition. This one, it's such an awesome movie moment. It is a larger Funko Pop for sure. I was so excited. I honest to God, I think I even said it on my video. When I got this one, I think I brought it home and shot it in a day, which never happens because life is life, and I'm, got a lot of other things going on between work and family and everything. But this one was so awesome. As soon as I picked it up, I think I took like 2 minutes to start getting an idea in my head of how I was going to photograph this guy, and had such a good time putting this image together. Again, using some Photoshop with my backdrop to clean up a few items out of it. Even kind of changed a little bit of the background to having the lighting where I wanted it, so that I could light it up with my gels and stuff for my Loom cubes. But this was so much fun to photograph. This version of Jabba came out so much better. And again, like I said, and I'll say again and again, this is why I've loved how Funko has really broadened the way they can make their pops on their sculpts, because the earlier ones are very that early Funko look. This is more character driven. And Salacious B. Crumb, little guy with him, everything, his little hookah on the side, beverage in hand. I mean, awesome pop. Awesome pop. Let's see what our chat is saying here. All right. Ricky popped around. Chris Sansom, fire, made my top 5. Yeah, I saw that, man. Chris Hansen is just a great, badass pop. Really good looking pop. Seriously, Star Wars, Christopher, such a great pop. 10 times better than OG. I agree. It's just so much more to character than to the pop, just the original Funko Pops. It's kind of like having the old Stormtrooper with the dots for the eyes, the old Vader dots eyes, and they've gotten so much better with making their masks actually look better. I agree, 100%. Ricky popped around the character. I need that new Jabba. I have the old one, the Slave Layer. Yeah, see, funny. I wanted to get that one, and that kept, again, every time I had it, something else came up, and I ended up not getting it. I think at one time it was either get that or get the one with Luke and the Rancor and the other Twi'lek. I can't remember her name. But I ended up picking that one up instead, because I found that one harder to get. And so, yeah, I definitely still want to get that original one with Slave Leia and Jabba and everything. That would be a good one to have. Definitely, for sure. But yeah, this as my number 2 had to be. This was just awesome. Great. And this is a new pop. So if you haven't picked this one up for your collection, you still have time to get out there. It's on shelves in stores. Get this one. You will not be disappointed. You will make room for the shelf space in your displaying of this guy because he's that awesome. I'm telling you. Guaranteed. All right. So let's go to our next here. Honorable mention. This is, I think, our last honorable mention we've got. but had to be done. Now, I know that there's so many Grogu's out there, and there's so many different ones, but I feel, again, in Aliens and Creatures, I wanted to include this little guy as an honorable mention because I really like the Grogu lights and sound. I think this is just a really cool pop. Him kind of in that Zen-like pose, reaching out, as we later learn, to somebody of great power and wisdom, Jedi Master Luke Skywalker. But I just thought it was really cool how it lights up and makes this kind of like the force sound. And it's a great pop and everything, and kind of had like the little plants and everything included. So photographing this one, it was so much fun. I just always remember kind of top lighting them because it reminds me of Yoda. It always looks very well top lit and you get a lot of detail in them. So I wanted to create that kind of moonlight look, with stars, and again, Typhon kind of coming out with the rocks behind him and everything, like that little area of a maybe fallen temple or area, definitely Jedi ruins. But how to give this guy an honorable mention: Grogu lights and sound 510, awesome alien creature. Again, of all the Grogus, I'm probably going to go with this one because the lights and sound, I really do enjoy those, and I wish we got more of them. I do think they're really cool. All right, let's hop over to the chat before I get to my last in my list here. Close that. Get back here. Here we go. Chrysanthemum. All right, so we're good. We're caught up in the chat. All right, so now that we're caught up, I'm just making sure. Now we'll go on to the last, the piece de resistance. My number one Star Wars Funko Pop, Alien and Creatures. Bam! Hands down goes to this version of Cad Bane. Now, I have the newer one from Book of Boba Fett, and I also have the newer one from Clone Wars Bad Batch style, which I do like. And that comes with Toto, his little droid. But still, this pop, I think, takes the cake in the alien and creatures. He's kind of an alien, but he's kind of got some robotic features, keeping him alive with his little respirator and everything. He's very much inspired, character-wise, off that kind of Clint Eastwood, Pale Rider style kind of renegade cowboy. And he's a bounty hunter, and he's quick with a gun, and he's just badass. And this Funko Pop itself, I think I photographed two different versions. I don't even think many people saw this version, because I think I did like the vertical when I posted it originally. But and going back through looking at this pop again, I chose this image, and I really just love this one because I got close up and you can see all the richness of the details in his coat and his blasters and his gun belt, like just awesome. And it's like little oxygen tubes. This pop is awesome, and I also like this one a little bit better than the others because I like the hat, the wider, longer brim hat. I think, to me, really kind of sums that character up more so than the other two versions that we got in the previous or latter Funko Pops, I should say. So let's get to the chat and see how they feel, if they might agree. Christopher seriously started Clone Wars Cad Bane. Yeah, hell yeah. Hell yeah, Christopher. This one had to be my number one. He's just awesome. That hat puts this one over the top, right? Like, this hat is just dope. It's that longer brim. I mean, if you look at some of those old spaghetti westerns of Eastwood, this is exactly what you're expecting to see. And to have that kind of character brought to, like, a space western character brought in the Star Wars universe, Cad Bane is the best at it. He is deadly, as he is just menacing, and he's just awesome. Ricky popped about a collector. Another alien creature I totally forgot to put in my top five. Even my girlfriend was like, "No Cad Bane in your top five." Laugh out loud. 100%, Ricky. Yeah, this guy is just kick ass, right? He's awesome. I was really excited to have this pop. And again, I know a lot of people are going to yell at me because this one I actually had in the box with that con sticker, and I didn't care back then about boxes, so I just couldn't wait to open this guy and set him up on my little shelf at work. So that box got tossed years ago, and yeah, I'm not going to try to get him boxed again and have a duplicate because he's getting up there in price, this one. But love this Cad Bane 262 con exclusive. So that is it for my top 5 aliens and creatures. I will be having a few more. I think the next one I'll do is possibly my Ahsoka. I think I've got a few others. I've got Ahsoka, and I have another one. I can't even remember. It's droids or whatnot coming up. But you know what we're gonna do? We're gonna do something a little different. So for my next live stream, we're gonna do the Ahsoka top 5, and what I'll do is a quick recap of the new trailer that dropped today. I know my buddy Christopher over at Seriously Star Wars will be dropping a video around 8:30 tonight. So if you're up and at 'em and you're looking to be entertained, check his video out tonight. I know my buddy Tony over at Star Wars Sith, I think on his lunch break, actually came home, reacted to it, and that's up. So if you haven't seen that, check his video out. So before I do my Ahsoka, we'll do a recap of the trailer because I think by then I'll probably do it the next day or two. So stay tuned for that. But I know that most people will see it by then and we've seen other reactions. So we'll just do a recap and react to it. I'll let you know my thoughts on it. I have actually already just seen it just shortly a couple hours ago. In between painting and chores and other things today, I did catch it. It blew my mind. So very excited for that. And the Ahsoka pop's coming up. So that is it for me. So again, thank you guys for tuning in today. I greatly appreciate it. Thank you, Ricky, from Pop the Bounty Collector, Will from Padawan Pops, Andrea from the Padawan Chronicles, Christopher, my brother in YouTube, over from Seriously Star Wars, and my partner in crime over at the Star Wars Popcast with Lex from Jedi Lex. Thank you, Eric. I know you had to drop off, but I want to give you a shout out. Thank you for coming, and I hope you got dinner with your family and everything. And thank you. There was somebody else in here. I know there was. The Fandalorian. I know you were here. So I want to thank you for popping in. I greatly appreciate it. Tomorrow, everyone's images from my challenge, the hashtag one pop, one photo challenge, where I basically challenge you all to take a Funko Pop, a Star Wars Funko Pop, create a cool scene with that using some natural light. And I try to keep it simple, just natural light, use of your mobile phone, iPhone, or whatever you got for a mobile phone device, and capture an image. And let me tell you, I've seen a lot of you guys try it. I've seen a lot of my friends out there in the Star Wars content group that usually don't do toy photography, really doing some kick-ass and creative images. So I want to thank you from the bottom of my heart, one, for participating, and two, for really putting yourself out there, because I know getting behind the camera is one thing. Getting behind the camera and creating something and getting you out of your comfort zone is, kind of like me getting in front of this camera here and talking to an audience out there live on YouTube. So I get it. So I greatly appreciate you guys making the effort. And you guys have done some really cool images. And I love seeing how you guys are thinking about it and talking and discussing amongst each other. Again, that just excites me that you guys got invested in that. And I really deeply, from the bottom of my heart, appreciate you guys all for participating and having fun. Again, tomorrow is the due date. I think I said like 11:30. So get those images in. Still have to work with Gregory Cook, and we're going to schedule a live stream where we're going to review them and chat about them. And we're going to catch up and do a brief interview with Greg, kind of ask his interest in Star Wars, Funko, and toy photography as well. And then at the end, please stay tuned because we have a challenge that we'll be dropping at the end of that. And it's going to be a different one. It's going to take some time, so we might give this one a little more time to do. It's going to be fun. It's going to be creative. So look forward to that. You might have if you haven't, and this is a shameless plug, go check out the Star Wars Popcast. So if you haven't checked it out, I gave a little teaser, and you might know if you follow some of my videos and stuff, I'll drop a clue or a hint on someone else's channel, someone else's live stream. So I know I was on with Tony from Star Wars Sith, and during one of his live streams, we were chatting, and we started talking about the one pop, one photo challenge there to give people a little heads up, if you will. Just like we talked about it again on the Star Wars Podcast, and we talked about this new challenge that's coming up. because I did a little reveal of some things that I picked up, a recent haul on my vacation. I ended up picking up an Ahsoka from early Clone Wars, at the Surf Mall in Ocean City, New Jersey, and also picked up a Grogu 365 mini, him holding a little cup of tea or cup of Joe. So I got that little mini, and I wanted that for scale to shoot with some of the other Funko Pops. So that was kind of a neat little haul. And I picked up two other Funko Pops. So when I got back, it was one less thing worrying about when I got back, because from the traveling part of the vacation, we were doing a staycation here where we can take some little jaunts for the day, as well as getting some work done around the house, including the studio area. So, yeah, that's what's going on. So stay tuned for that. Another fire top five, Patrick. Thank you very much, Ricky. Thank you. It's fun collecting these things, and I just get excited. Not only do I enjoy photographing them and really doing some creative images with them, but I enjoy seeing everybody else's, because sometimes that, like I told you today, that seeing some of you guys do it, and I saw your Watto, I was like, you know what? That's one I would like to photograph, and it inspired me not only to want to include them, but to photograph them too. So again, I love these top fives, and I'm glad that everyone's doing different ones, and we all got different picks. Great top five, Patrick, from Christopher at Seriously Star Wars. Thank you very much, Christopher, my brother in arms. I greatly appreciate it. So again, I don't want to keep everybody. I know people are going to want to tune in to Christopher a little bit later tonight. There's some other friends that have some recent videos. They've got, some live streams. They've got some where they're doing some gameplays. So if you check out some of my links and stuff on my YouTube channel, you'll see some of my partners in crime out there creating Star Wars content. Check some of their stuff out, because everyone that I'm friends with out there, everyone does some really cool stuff, and it's all different. Even when we challenge each other, these top fives, like we all been saying, it's just amazing to see the difference of the pops and stuff in our collection and our reasons of choice. So again, thank you very much. I'm glad that you're here. Until I see you next time, may the force be with you.